What's going on, YouTube fam? It's a beautiful day here in Ireland. I've been enjoying the Indian summer, riding every day. And today I also want to film a video for you guys, for all you beginners out there, people who want to get into Flatland BMX. Because I remember when I was starting, I didn't know what kind of bike I should get, what the difference between a flatland bike and a street bike is, what tricks I should learn. So in this video I'm going to cover a few key points, like what bike you should get, what tricks you should learn, the learning process, fitness, nutrition, and some other points from myself. Flatland bikes and BMX bikes in general have changed a lot over the years. They look a lot different now than they used to, and some would say they used to look a lot cooler.
In the country, you're here riding for some 100,000.
Don't be false and trick and run behind your...
They've got to be kidding. This is a joke.
Nowadays they don't look much different to street or park whips. However, there are slight differences in the build and the geometry of the bikes. So let's go over the differences so that you can make an educated choice in buying your first flatland bike. Now I will say you can do flatland on any BMX bike with pegs, or any bike with pegs for that matter. But this is for the people who want specific info about BMX bikes that are specifically for flatland, aka pro bikes. So wheel size, 20 inches of course. Any BMX bike is going to have 20-inch wheels. However, if you are a younger rider and not quite as tall or as big, then there are other options out there. There are 18, 16 and 14-inch BMX bikes out there. So if you are younger, then just type that into Google and you'll find some options for you. The frame. The top shape of the frame is usually going to be a little bit shorter than if you were picking up a street frame for your height. This is to make the bike more responsive and aggressive in the way that you handle it, as well as the standover height is going to be a little bit lower, so the angle of the top tube might be a little bit lower to the chainstay than in a street or park frame. This is so that you can avoid hitting into the frame when you're stepping over in tricks such as whiplashes or when you're jumping over into different switches. The chainstay is also going to be slightly shorter to increase the responsiveness of the back wheel. When you're on the back wheel, you want the bike to be super responsive and not be too lengthy so that you don't have to drag a lot. You want it to be super sharp and respond to your every movement. A more compact bike is usually preferred in flatland. However, there are some riders out there who ride longer frames and just normal street frames and still kill it. So at the end of the day, it is personal preference. I would personally recommend for you to get a frame long enough so that you don't get constant back pain from being hunched over, because you will spend hours and hours on your bike, so you want the bike to be comfortable for you. I started on an 18.7 TT frame and now I ride a 20.25, and while it is larger, it is more comfortable for me and helps me avoid back injuries. So go out to your local bike shop or skate park and test out some bikes and see which feels best for you. I'm also 183 centimeters or 6 foot or 6'1", something like that, for those wondering, for the size of frame I'm riding. As for the forks, myself and a lot of other flat riders ride forks with 0 offset. That means they go straight down. This is so that when your bars are turned around, which they often are in flatland tricks, there's no difference to the angle of your wheel, and so you can still stay in the same balance point and it doesn't change much. However, again, some riders do ride standard forks or forks with a little bit of offset, so it is personal preference for what you want. Having no offset, I find, makes the front wheel super sharp and super easy to control. Stem is also usually shorter. In street and park bikes, if I remember correctly, they're usually like 55 to 60 millimeters. While I ride a 38 millimeter stem, I used to ride a 35. So it's again to make the bike more compact and responsive and adaptive to flatland. As for the back hub, a lot of riders that ride park or street already do ride free coasters. However, a free coaster, if you are just getting into BMX and don't know what it is, it's so that your pedals don't spin backwards when you move backwards. On a cassette wheel, when your wheel moves backwards, when you roll backwards in a fakie or any back wheel trick, your pedals will roll backwards. But with free coaster, that doesn't happen. Your pedals stay still and you just free coast. So for flatland, I would recommend that you get a free coaster, as there's a lot of forward and backward switching and momentum, especially on the back wheel. So it will help if your pedals won't move during that, because that can mess you up during a combo if your pedal goes into your shin or something like that. Plus it can leave you with a bit of a pain, so you want to avoid that. As for the tires and what you should roll on, some riders ride 2.1 and that would probably be the maximum in Flatland, just because the forks and the frames don't allow for much more. Most riders I know ride 1.9 or 1.8. Personally, I ride 1.75. Those would kind of be the main sizes in Flatland, 1.75 and 1.8. Depending on the tire, sometimes you get 1.8. I think only 1 or 2 manufacturers make 1.9, and those are the standard tire sizes. It's up to you what size you'd like to roll on. Again, it's personal preference. Thinner tires do make it easier to move and spin faster because less surface area is in contact with the ground. And I have been told that thicker tires make it easier to pump and create momentum in the middle of a combo. I would also recommend that you start with brakes. At the very least, a front brake. I know that all your favorite riders are probably brakeless, but you haven't even started yet. So you need to build up that bike control and just be able to control the bike in such a way that you are confident with it. And brakes do help to learn that. Plus, if you decide to keep a brake on, then there are some really cool and original tricks that can only be done with front brake or back brake. So you could be the next one to try those. Later down the line, you can decide if you want to go brakeless or keep riding with brakes. But I would recommend for you to go at least a year with brakes and then make your decision. Okay, enough about the bike. You've got one, get on it and cycle. Time to figure out your dominant sides. When you're cycling, just cruise, put your feet parallel to the ground, so pedal to pedal. And which foot is forward? If your left foot is forward, you're going to spin to the right because the back foot, your right foot, is going to allow you more push during the spin to rotate you around. And vice versa, if you're right foot forward, you're going to spin to the left. Now, you can learn goofy. Personally, I learned goofy first, which means that I ride left foot forward and I learned 180s and 360s to the left first. But you can avoid that mistake by just looking down at your feet when you're cruising. Going on to Flatland tricks, any trick you can do in a straight line, you can do in a circle, and it's going to be the same. You spin to the right, you're going to go clockwise. You spin to the left, you're going to go counterclockwise. Now this does vary with some riders and some tricks, but find what's comfortable for you, and you're going to stick with this direction for all tricks that you do. As for your dominant foot, if you're going clockwise, your left foot is going to be the one standing on the peg. But again, this does vary, so try peg wheelies or fork glides with either foot and see what feels best for you. And if you want to get into some street flat, then left foot forward also means that you grind on the left. Okay, next point, fitness. This is my personal recommendation as a personal trainer. Start looking after yourself, especially if you ride BMX. BMX is an extreme sport and will take a lot from your body and mind. So it's important to strengthen them and look after them, which will not only make BMX a little easier, but more enjoyable. Through getting stronger, the bike will be easier to control and you'll be able to do more with it. And through increasing your muscular endurance and cardio, you'll feel better and you'll be able to go on for longer without stopping. And most of all, you'll feel much better in yourself. This isn't only about BMX, this goes past BMX. This is about creating positive habits that will make an impact on your life. Start working out. 1 hour, 3 times per week is perfect to start with, and it's only like 6% of your day, which you can spare for something that will make you better across the board. Getting stronger will also create an armor of muscle around your body because BMX will bring you plenty of falls. So if you have the muscle that will tense up when you fall and protect you, your bones, your inner organs, everything that's important from damage, then you should create that armor and get stronger so that not only will you be able to ride better, but also you'll have less of a chance of getting injured and being out of the game for a while. Plus, longevity. By keeping yourself fit and looking after yourself, you'll make sure that you can keep going no matter what BMX and life throw at you or throw you at, and continue pushing forward no matter what, feeling great along the way. I feel better now than I did at 16, all thanks to looking after my health. Okay, next up, the learning process. It's the same in Flatland BMX as it is for any skill-based activity. Repetition equals progress. Through repeating an action over and over, in this case a trick which you're trying to figure out, you're creating new neural pathways connected by synapses within your brain. And with each repetition, with each attempt, those connections are strengthened. And this is how you learn anything, from studying for a test to learning how to dance. Through creating those new connections, you're creating new pathways for your brain to fire those synapses and for you to gain new skills. Eventually those pathways become so strong that it becomes a reflex. You don't have to think about it anymore. That's how in flatland combos, for example, riders can go from one trick onto the next in the blink of an eye by literally just making it so strong in their minds that it becomes a reflex and they don't have to think about it, they just do it. It's all muscle memory and failure and practice and getting back up and trying again. When those connections become stronger, you start to figure out the trick, you start to understand it little by little. Little epiphanies come to your mind while you're trying a trick over and over, which help you understand what you need to do differently or what you need to adjust. And eventually something that once felt impossible, and believe me, when I start learning a new trick, every single trick once felt impossible, until it doesn't, until you start understanding how your body and brain need to act in order to accomplish this. And eventually it becomes so easy that you just do it as easily as a bunny hop. And even a bunny hop can become so easy. This is what it'll take to ride flatland. You'll be out there alone in some empty car park or lot, practicing for hours, repeating the same trick for hours sometimes. It might feel like you're not making any progress, but you know that you're getting better with time and practice. And the next day you come back, it'll feel that little bit better. It does take a certain kind of person to ride flatland. That's why I think there isn't as many of us as there is in street and park, but our community is growing every day. And it's my hope that this video can help you get started and get you going on this beautiful journey, which personally I wouldn't trade for anything, and I will forever be grateful for the lessons that BMX and flatland have taught me and the places that it has shown me and people that it has allowed me to meet. As for what tricks to start with, I'm sure you'd like to go on and do all those crazy moves that you see in all your favorite edits, but you can't climb a mountain without taking the first step. And it's little steps that climb mountain peaks. So start small. You're going to start off by learning the basics, and I recommend that you learn as many tricks as possible, as every trick that you learn will open up new doors and possibilities to what you can do in flatland and what you can do in the future. But the very basic tricks that you should start with are the fork glide, bunny hop, track stand, peg wheelie, manual, steamroller, hang 5, funky chicken, cal cruiser, lung spin, time machine, 180 and 360, hitchhiker and half hiker. You can find how-tos for all those tricks on my channel, and if you'd like to request any how-to on a basic trick that I haven't covered, just let me know down in the comments and I'll get it done. Like I said, the more you learn, the better. Okay, point number 5, nutrition. This one not many BMX riders consider, however you should consider it as a human. You can't eat crap and expect to feel good. I remember when I was a teenager, I would eat like nothing but fast food and processed foods, drink like 5 energy drinks a day, and no wonder that years later my health and general well-being were down. There's a theory out there that every 7 years, all the cells within your body are replaced by new ones. So what I like to say to my fitness clients is you've got to consider, what are those cells being created from? Where are those new cells being formed from? The foods that you consume are literally making you. You literally are what you eat, if you've ever heard that saying. So be sure to eat healthy foods. Get a good balance of proteins, carbs and fats in your meals, and make sure you're eating enough. More than likely you're not eating as much as you should be. You're just filling up your belly with carbs and sugars that are just making you bloated and making you feel full. Through eating healthy, you will have more energy, you'll feel better, and your general mood will be improved. Your health will be better, you'll avoid a whole lot of potential diseases, you'll sleep better, your muscles will recover faster, and just in general, you'll be able to perform to the best of your body's ability. Complex carbohydrates such as peas, beans, whole grains, and vegetables will give you long-lasting energy that will be burned down slower than just simple sugars and fried foods. Good protein sources will help your muscles recover and be broken down into amino acids, which then go into your muscles and heal them and help them grow stronger. And healthy fats are required as part of a balanced diet, and they help your body absorb certain nutrients such as fat-soluble vitamins, and are needed for the production of certain hormones. So super important in a daily diet, and it's important that you get a good balance of all three in your diet. What I like to say to my clients is that you should make your plate look like a rainbow. The more colors, natural colors on your plate, the better. Again, start simple. If your diet is crap, start off by eating less processed products, less sugars, and be careful because sugars are in everything. Less sodas, drink more water, eat more vegetables and fruits, eat good meat or tofu and lentils. Just eat better and look after your body. Now, if I eat like crap even once, my body feels it. So I can't imagine how I used to feel back in the day and feeling like that all the time and not even knowing how good I could potentially feel. And for the final point, have fun, man. Nothing is worth doing if you don't enjoy it. So anything that you do should bring you happiness. And BMX is a way to get away from everything and everyone. Just be on your own or with your friends and just shred, enjoy yourself. No rules, no coach, no team, just you and your bike. And I think that if you enjoy something, you'll love it and you will keep on doing it no matter how hard it is and no matter how much it takes from you. Like I said, riding flatland takes a certain kind of person, but if you love it, you won't stop. And that's the most important thing. Never quit. I've seen so many good riders, and not just flat riders, get really good and then stop, just give up. Progress comes with consistent practice. And if you stick with something, you'll get good at it. And the only way to get good at flatland is to stay committed for years and years. All the riders who I know that are at an extremely good level are all riding 10 plus years. I'm not even riding 10 plus years yet, so I can't wait till, I am one of those riders. But honestly, just never stop. Stay committed, keep committed to your goals, keep setting yourself new goals and keep pushing yourself. I think, and as Tony Robbins says, progress equals happiness. So if you can keep on making progress and keep on getting better, you'll keep on doing it. And by it, I hope for you, that means Flatland BMX. Because for me, it has been the best thing I have ever started. And honestly, again, I couldn't be more grateful, and words can't express my gratitude for this little bike and what it has brought me, as what it has brought me goes beyond just BMX. So again, practice makes progress. Even when it feels like you're not making any, you are. Deep down in your brain, those connections are getting stronger, and the next time you come back to it, you'll get it. So never give up, never stop, keep riding, keep shredding. I hope this video could help you if you've been wanting to get into flatland, if you've been thinking about it, if you've been wanting some more information about what flatland is, what kind of differences there are in bikes and what tricks you should start with, then I hope you enjoyed this video. For now guys, that's it for this video. So if you're new around here, or if you haven't already, then please press that subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. Press the like button to let me know that you enjoyed this video, and share this video with your other friends who want to get into BMX. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!